The Biden family is getting hit by an unlikely source as a former official in the Obama administration has blown the whistle and said that President Joe Biden, when he was vice president, was involved in a kickback scheme with his son Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings. Mike McCormick, who served as a stenographer for 15 years in the White House, appeared on the Fox News show Fox and Friends First and said that the FBI has been ignoring him even though he is willing to testify under oath before the federal grand jury investigating Biden's son. In February, I went to the FBI and filed one of their tips on their website. If you do that, and you're lying to them, you go to jail. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth, and I'm not going to jail, he said. Joe Biden is a criminal. He was conducting malfeasance in office to enrich his family. Jake Sullivan is a conspirator in that, and there's more. Obama officials involved in it, I believe. Fox News reported. McCormick, who worked with Biden from 2011 to 2017, detailed a key dialogue involving the vice president, aide Jake Sullivan, and the press on Air Force Two before a trip to Kiev, Ukraine, on April 21, 2014. Sullivan, who is the current national security advisor, outlined in a White House transcript Biden's priorities for his trip to the country, which included U.S. investment in the Ukrainian energy sector days after Hunter joined the board of Burisma, according to the New York Post. Months later, and well after the trip, Congress allocated $50 million to Ukraine's energy market. I'm sitting back there with a tape recorder. Jake Sullivan comes back and somebody asks about fracking. His answer is, well, we're bringing a lot of American assistance over for fracking. Burisma was the direct beneficiary of that fracking, and that's what I recorded, and that's in a White House transcript, the former stenographer said. In the transcript, you don't know who Jake Sullivan is. It's a senior administration official. I'm the witness that says Jake Sullivan is the guy who said it and he should be investigated because at the time Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma and Joe Biden is bringing American taxpayer money to enrich the company and himself and his family, he said. Hunter Biden joined Burisma 3 days before Biden's trip to Ukraine, and McCormick alleged that the timeline showed Biden sending American money overseas to enrich himself and his family. If David Weiss, the prosecutor in the Hunter Biden case, can't have me in front of his grand jury explaining what I know as a witness, that's a fraudulent grand jury, he said. It's a fraudulent use of the American judicial system to cover for Barack Obama and Joe Biden's crimes in office. The former stenographer claims that he has information that directly implicates President Biden and other officials in what he said was an influence peddling scheme. If I went in there, I would tell them to have Barack Obama called in as a witness because he's part of the conspiracy. He's an ex-president. He has to answer who was in charge of this, putting Joe Biden into this role. Did Barack Obama know about it? McCormick said. There's evidence I've seen and put in my Substack on April 16, so 2 days before Hunter joins Joe Biden is with Hunter in the West Wing. They have a meeting, and then later that day in the evening, Joe Biden spends a day in the limousine in the back of Barack Obama's limousine in western Pennsylvania, he said. If true, the allegations would be a bombshell and a landmine to the presidency and possible re-election campaign of President Biden. The investigation may be one of the reasons President Biden still has not announced his candidacy for 2024, even as he has hinted that such an announcement is forthcoming.